What's the best way of angering a leftist? And we know leftists now means far leftists because the far left has taken over the left. Tell them the truth. Yeah, what will really piss off a leftist is telling them the truth. So, for example, far leftists have infiltrated a classical music app called Adagio. They have forced... there aren't any great female classical composers. There just aren't any. If you think there are, you're lying. They're mediocre at best. But in the featured section of Adagio, 20 or 30% of the people in there, you've got great composers like Bach, Stravinsky, Sibelius, etc., Dvorak. And then you've got these unknown female composers who are just shit. And they're only in there because diversity. No, a classical music app shouldn't have diversity in it. If you had an app of prominent rappers, aside from Eminem and obviously the genius Vanilla Ice, there wouldn't be any white dudes in there. Strange, isn't it, how this diversity road only goes in one direction? There wouldn't be any white dudes in there, nor should there be. What we need is more truth. We don't need more bullshit. So the way to anger a leftist is to tell them the truth, because everything the left stands for now is based on a lie or a double standard. Oh, female classical composers are just as good as men. No, they're fucking shit. Get them out of my app. Oh, black people have just as high IQ as Ashkenazi Jews. Sorry, they just don't. It's just not true. Women are just as good racing drivers as men. There's an article on the BBC Today about one woman who's managed to get into a Formula 3 car. I'll tell you what will happen. She'll fucking fail, because all female racing drivers who've ever lived are always shit and they always fail, and none of them get close to winning, because it's something men are more interested in and men are better at. Get over it. Synchronized swimming. Women are more interested in that and they're better at that, because men are not women. Men are different to women on average. So leftists are constantly trying to rewrite the truth. They're constantly trying to pretend the world is one way and reality is one way, when it's really the opposite. Islam is a religion of peace. It's literally not. It's a religion started by a paedophile who married a 9-year-old. He'd be sent to prison immediately today. Sure, we're judging a historical figure with current morals. That's a fair point. But then people are basing their lives on what this historical figure did in the modern world. So if you're doing that, then he must be open to moral standards of criticism. Right? That's called fucking logic, something left to say. Islam is not a religion of peace. Islam is a religion of war. Muhammad was a warlord. He codified the discrimination against gays, women and non-Muslims. If you try and leave Islam, you should be put to death, according to the Quran and the Hadith. Gays should be thrown from rooftops. A woman's testimony is worth less than a man. If you're a non-Muslim in a Muslim-majority country, you should live as a dhimmi. You should be systematically discriminated against. It's a fucking hateful set of awful ideas. That's the truth. Leftists will try and pretend it's a religion of peace. It just isn't. Leftists will pretend there's a gender pay gap. It depends how you define the phrase gender pay gap. Do men and women get paid different amounts? Yes. Well, why is that? It's not for the same job. Men and women who do the same job at the same skill level for the same number of hours get paid a very similar amount. But on average, men work far longer hours than women in more dangerous jobs. And often less pleasant jobs. Also, women have different interests in different jobs to men, such as childcare and teaching, and these jobs have a lower salary. This is why men and women on average are paid different amounts. But the earning 77 cents on the dollar, the lie that even Obama propagated, yes, women earn 77 cents on the dollar to men, because they don't work as long. And they work in lower paid jobs, not the same jobs. That's the lie, another lie at the heart of leftism. That's the deliberately misleading statement that makes it seem like a woman is working side by side with a man doing identical job with identical productivity and she's getting paid less. If that was the case, you'd only employ women and then your company's going to make bigger profits and succeed in the marketplace. Clearly that's not the case. It cannot be the case. Otherwise, companies that just happen to employ more women in a big enough market, in a free enough market, and markets are pretty free, those companies would just win. Men would all be unemployed. Men would have to accept lower pay. This is the beauty of the free market. It's a self-correcting mechanism. There cannot be a meaningful long-term gender pay gap. It's impossible in a free market, and we do mostly have a free market, certainly free enough to get rid of the 77 cents on a dollar pay gap. That's ludicrous. There are fewer women in tech because sexism. Oh, it's so sexist. No. Given a free choice, women don't want to be coders. They don't want to do the same jobs as men. Given a free choice, women would either rather look after kids or do lower paid jobs and work fewer hours. Again, another lie at the heart of the leftist ideology. Everything coming out of the left is a fucking lie. Everything. So how do you piss off a leftist? You just tell them the fucking truth. Tell them the truth about any of their points and their little brain explodes, because it's all bullshit. All of it is bullshit. How did we get here? The left used to make good points. Now everything they're saying is just a lie. Walls are racist. No. A wall on an international border enforces the law, a law of the land, a law that we all have to adhere to live in the country that we're in. If people want to come into a country, they should do so legally. That wall is enforcing the law. It's enforcing the integrity of your country. Walls are not racist. Walls are enforcing the integrity of your country. They are allowing your country to know who's coming in. They're stopping scumbag criminals coming in. And even the people that come in who aren't criminals, they're not paying all taxes. They're not afforded all rights. It's not a sensible way of running a country. No, walls are not racist. That's a fucking insane statement. Everything the left says at the moment is fucking insane. Oh, we all need to give our pronouns. Why? Because 0.0001% of people have different pronouns. Mrs. Blue-haired fat chick over there wants to call herself a table. So, and she's one person in 10,000, so the rest of us have to start saying he, his, and him. No, we already know your fucking pronouns. Like, the tyranny of the minority is not going to force everyone else to change. Sorry, you can fuck off. Again, you're talking bullshit. Everything the left says at the moment is a lie. And it's not trivial to shoot these points down, and these points are central to the leftist message at the moment, and it's just insane. So yeah, if you want to piss off a leftist, just speak truth to them. They fucking hate it.
This was the Deviant Developer Podcast. Tap subscribe in any podcast app to never miss an episode. To contact me or make a welcome donation, go to thedeviantdeveloper.com.